I played 100 Days of Rimworld as a transhumanist cult that desires to free not only themselves, but basically everyone from their limited fleshly frames. My goals as follows: survive as long as possible, help my colonists become the dominant cyborg super beings every little boy and girl wishes to be, and convert every other person on the Rim to our way of thinking. You might be asking yourself, convert every other person to what exactly? Why, my cult, of course. Techno-transcendentism. Let's begin. Day 0 began with us landing on our world per the crash-landed scenario usual. And who is us exactly? Arco, Rob, and Williamson. Remember these names. Will these three fine gentlemen survive the 100 days? I decided where we were going to set up shop.
This will be kind of our starting base area.
I let the boys go.
All right, fellas.
Rob started cutting down a tree pretty much immediately, and Williamson lugged some wood that was already piled up. Williamson made the table inside our base, proceeded to blow chunks due to his crypto sleep sickness, and then kept on working. What a guy. Eventually, Williamson grabbed a meal and ate at our table. Being able to eat at a table already was a great thing. The sun rose on day 1, and our base was looking somewhat okay. I started setting up our defenses, and they started being built. Day 2, we continued construction on our defenses and were able to get some of the traps up. On day 3, we had our first low psychic drone. On day 4, we finished our defenses, which was good, but then a heat wave began. I'm just surprised the heat wave didn't start on day 0 when I first showed up here, if you know what I'm saying. Later on that same day, we were presented with the opportunity to name our people and place. We name our place Nexus, and our faction, the Cyber Hive. Not long after we finish naming our crud, the psychic drone ends, which is always a good feeling. On day 5, I saw something I had never seen in Rimworld before.
What is this? Who left their Honda Accord here?
Day 6, the first mad animal showed up.
A mad squirrel.
It was no big deal. As day 6 was ending, so did the heat wave. On day 7, we built some shelves. On day 8, the very first quest from the Empire came in, and I accepted it. I hadn't ever done a quest for the Empire before. Our job was to protect this guy who was running from a rat. Not long after the dude showed up, so did the rat who was following him. But, just like the squirrel from earlier, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
Shortly after the rat died, a shuttle showed up for the dude we protected. I told him to board it, and off he went. Something cool is that since we protected the homie, our boy Arco now had the title of freeholder with the Empire. And he also had the chance to become a yeoman. All we had to do was accept that quest, and people from the Empire would show up and bestow upon him the yeoman title. And that was significant because the title also came with psychic powers. I actually held off on the ceremony quest though. On day 10, we decided to make Williamson the leader of our faction. We held a little ceremony to make it official. On day 11, I renamed the leader role that we gave to Williamson the day before to Prime Technarch, making Williamson the Prime Technarch of Nexus. We also renamed other roles to make them more appropriate. For the role meant to convert people to our way of thinking, we went with Hive Announcer. For the role meant to specialize in crafting, we went with Cyberneer. Like, engineer? Get it? No, like Cyberneer, For the research specialized role, we went with Browser. I thought it was funny. On day 12, we had our first visitors.
Hello.
Naturally, we sent the leader of our clan up to go see what goods they had. They had, like, nothing.
Yeah, they have, like, nothing.
On day 13, we kept on mining away at this stone that was above our base. We were trying to clear out the place we were going to be expanding into. I also saw on day 13 that we had a nice mood buff from Uniform Thoughts, which was pretty dang fantastic.
Uniform Thoughts, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
On day 14, we finished clearing out the rock above our base and built our wind turbine. On day 15, Williamson was removing the roof in the area where our turbine was and avoided some of the roof falling in. I wanted to remove the chunks where the roof had caved in, so I had Williamson and Arco work on it.
Careful.
But as soon as they cleared it out, more of it collapsed right back in.
Oh.
On day 16, we tried again. No cigar. Later that same day, we built our nutrient paste dispenser. We were trying to transcend our human bodies, and that included the desire for fine dining. We were totally fine getting our calories via a substance not entirely dissimilar to a piece of bread left in the water too long when you're washing dishes. On day 17... See, what had happened was this. I put up a column to try and keep the roof from collapsing, right? That obviously didn't do the trick. Chat was warning me, but I didn't know what they meant in time.
That's what you meant, move him. I didn't, because I had the column.
So as soon as he finished mining that last spot, the roof caved in and entirely enveloped Arco, leaving only the single meal he had on him behind.
It's too soon.
A huge bummer thing is that since we lost Arco, we lost the only person with any title with the Empire, and we couldn't call them in for that ceremony we talked about earlier.
No, he was the royal. We didn't finish his...
Another thing was there wasn't a body to bury.
Select a grave containing his corpse, but we can't bury him.
And yet another bummer thing, and this was probably the biggest thing, was Arco was our medical person.
And not to be like the bearer of even worse news, he was our medical guy.
We no longer had a person to be our resident doctor. Turns out the no body to bury thing wasn't that big of a deal after all, because we were able to make a gravesite and have a funeral.
Today, we lay Arco to rest. After a mere 17 days, he will live on in our memory.
On day 17, I roofed the spot that I should have before Arco died. And then on day 18, we removed the caved in bit. As much of a bummer as it was that Arco died, it would pave the way for one of the best colonists I've ever had. Humps.
Wow, this dude's not really great.
Trust me, Humps wasn't a part of techno-transcendentism yet, but we'd definitely convert him. I didn't know this at first when rescuing Humps, but the guy was currently dealing with a case of paralytic abasia, which would keep him in bed for
31 days?
As day 19 was wrapping up, Williamson went on a food binge.
Williamson is binging food, that's okay.
On day 20, we made the move to give Humps his new name.
Should we do... Hey, honestly, that's kind of like a machine way of thinking about things. You know what I'm saying? Arco 2. You have big shoes to fill, my guy.
And Arco 2 was in the mix. On day 21, we worked on expanding into the mountain we were next to. Early on day 22, I noticed that we no longer had that nice mood buff from unified thoughts. But we're now dealing with diverse thoughts thanks to Arco 2's feminism.
Diverse thoughts. What is this? We don't have that here.
On day 23, I realized the final bummer we suffered when Arco 1 died.
Oh, no. Wait, Arco had the gun. The gun got buried.
That means we only had Williamson's revolver when it came to firepower. That's it. Even though that was the case...
Run. Oh, no, don't melee. Don't melee, Williamson. Wow.
We never actually shot the cougar as it wandered off. As day 24 was wrapping up, we continued making granite blocks and mining out that room in the mountain. On day 25, we started the process of upgrading our base from wood to granite. Later, on day 25, a boomalope self-tamed. That was a win for the colony because we could then milk that boomalope and get not milk, like one might think if you don't play Rimworld, but chem fuel. So, as long as we kept that boomalope alive, we had a never-ending source of fuel. Also, on day 25, we had to deal with a cougar.
Oh, Rob. Where's this cougar? Oh, he's got time. Come through. Oh my gosh, Rob.
I'm not 100% sure if it's the same one we tried to kill earlier, but a part of me feels like it kinda had to be the same one. On day 26, we made Rob our browser, but we actually changed this shortly, because making him a browser actually made it to where he was not able to do some very necessary work around the base. So we switched him over to being our moral guide, which was the Hive announcer role from earlier.
And we're back, making Rob... giving Rob a new job.
Unfortunately, the change in position was not viewed very, favorably by Rob himself.
Lost.
And then we even remove him from that role as well. Honestly, I didn't need to remove him from the moral guide role, but hindsight's always 2020. Later this same day, a mad boom rat rolled up.
Oh.
As we were using Williamson to try and draw the boom rat around, Rob decided that then would be the perfect time to wander around sadly.
Oh, that's a bad time, Rob.
Eventually, the boom rat caught Williamson's scent and made his way around.
Okay, go.
We weren't out of the woods yet, though, because boom rats, go boom when they die.
Don't go that. Oh my gosh.
They don't explode as big as boomalopes, but they still go boom. We had Williamson get some shooting practice in with the boom rat. And everything was fine aside from wandering Rob. But Rob eventually came back to us and went right to bed. Unfortunately for him though, he wasn't able to sleep for long because our boomalope was starting to wander away, and we stinking needed that thing, so I sent him after it.
Shoot, Rob.
Rob was able to get the boomalope back home safe and sound despite putting it in a less than ideal place. Not long after we got the boomalope into our proper pen on day 28, it came down with a case of the plague.
Oh, that's a problem.
Williamson tended him though, so that was good. The immunity just had to catch the plague, and the plague was ahead. I checked back on day 29, and the immunity had not yet caught up.
Oh, it hasn't caught it.
Now, here's the problem. If the plague reaches 100%, the boomalope dies and explodes in a not inconsiderable fashion. So until the immunity caught up to and passed the plague, I essentially had an organic ticking time bomb in my colony.
Where do I put it? Make a new pen? Oh, it's going quick. I thought the immunity would catch it. The immunity's not catching it. Dude, no.
My plan was to put the pen marker in the mountain room we were hollowing out and then move the boomalope in there to explode.
Please. What are we looking at? Hold on. 64%, bro. Hurry. Okay, he'll be fine.
We got the lope into the mountain room. Things weren't looking good for him.
Oh, he's dead.
As our boomalope's time was running out, Rob got some crazy idea.
What are you doing, Rob?
I made Rob drop the biohazard outside of our base and get the heck out of Dodge. I kept people from trying to walk around by the boomalope.
3, 2. What? We're fine.
And we were fine. It was day 30 by this point, and we continued to work on upgrading our base to granite, and that went into day 31. But later on day 31...
Oh, this is huge. Oh, this is huge. Wait. A sheriff named Rachel's crashing in a transport pod. Rachel suffering from... Why is everybody who joins my crud suffering from paralytic aphasia? Who is she, though? Who is she? She's Rob's daughter. We gotta bring her in, right?
We accepted Rachel in. After chopping the trees needed to build Rachel's bed, we actually went to go rescue her. We sent Rob to go save his daughter.
Hang in there, Rob. Bring your daughter back. We need to help her become an augmented technist. Supreme Legion. We'll see about that. How long is she out for? 39 days.
She was down for the count. On day 32, we had Rob clean up the place, even though he wasn't doing super well mentally. On day 33, a bulk trader came by, so we went to go chat with them. We ended up selling them a good amount of our raw rice. On day 34, after being in a rather stressed mental state, Rob decided to have a tantrum.
Okay, wonderful, Rob. Thank you.
He went around punching our granite walls, as one does when one has a tantrum. I know that's what I do. Give me a granite wall to punch. I'll punch it. Give me a good solid... He also punched some of our defenses and even broke some traps, which was slightly more annoying, but after that he was good. On day 35, we accepted a quest that showed up for us earlier on the previous day. The quest was basically to survive these man-hunting raccoons that this lady was going to draw our way. That was it. On day 36, the raccoons showed up.
They're here.
I brought Williamson inside. Rob was already safe because he was mining out the mountain room. Unfortunately, the day before, we had a visitor show up to Nexus, and the raccoons...
Oh no. Oh no. Ram owned him. We got the quest. Ram don't mess, does he?
Our payment dropped from the sky right next to our base. On day 37, I had our 2 not paralyzed colonists really focus on mining out the mountain room. On day 38, a buck went mad. It was no big deal. Just as we were about to finish hollowing out the mountain room, Williamson just had to go hide in his room.
Why?
On day 40, after Williamson came back to us, Rob went and finally finished clearing out the space for our new room in the mountain. On day 41, everybody liked and subscribed. See what I did there? Also on day 41, we started work on the next room for the colony, on the other side of our main space. On day 42, we tried to haul some rice in out of the rain before it decomposed. We put it inside our mountain room. On day 43, we got our first raid.
Oh dear, here we go.
It was one guy. One solitary guy. And unfortunately for him...
Oh, he's getting destroyed by a wolf.
So yeah, our first raid went well. In the wee hours of day 44, Rob had himself another tantrum.
What the heck, Rob?
Not a lot happened on day 45. We cut some rice plants that had caught blight. We rebuilt some traps for our defenses. Nothing crazy. As day 46 was wrapping up, I started making moves to kind of rearrange some things. Namely the nutrient paste dispenser we had. And on day 47, we built the new dispenser in its new spot. We also paved a good amount of the floor in our new room on day 47. Slowly but surely, we were making some solid moves. On day 48, I started laying out the plans for how the storage system was going to look in our new room. The plan was to refrigerate this room to the point where everything in here would be frozen. I always do something like this in my Rimworld runs. Day 49 saw the freezer/storage room continue to come together. Day 50 was a big day. Not only was it the halfway mark to our first 100 days, but Rob wanted to throw a party. And at like the exact moment he wanted to throw said party, Arco 2 arose from his bed.
Coincidence? I think not!
Arco 2's up. Arco 2's on his feet.
On day 51, we learned that Rob is kinda a piece of crud.
Wait, why don't you like her? She's your daughter, dude. She's physically... He doesn't like his daughter because she's physically hideous. Oh my goodness.
We worked a bit on upgrading our defenses from wood to granite on day 52. Day 53 saw us working on our second room expansion. On day 54, we got a cold snap.
Oh shoot, it's a cold snap.
Spring sprung right as we got into day 55, which is always encouraging. Between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning on day 55, we got raided again.
They're attacking immediately. It's one guy.
He started smacking the wall to our turbine/pen area, which wasn't appreciated, but then he stopped and made his way around to the traps, but even then, he backed off and started hitting the wall until I could convince him to hit another trap.
Is he dead? Oh man. Hold up.
The raider was still alive, so I tried to whip up a little prison cell to keep him in. But alas...
Go, 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 go. Bury him. He's dead, dude.
We couldn't save him. Technically, we could have saved him if we'd done things differently, so that's on me. Just as day 55 was ending, the cold snap ended as well. On day 56, we roofed most of the new room. And on day 57, we finished the final bit of the walls for the room. Now, I want to mention this here. We didn't have a lot of food at this point. Our shelves were looking pretty bare, right? I didn't really act too much on the fact that we didn't have a ton of food, but the issue was there. On day 58, we finished upgrading our defenses to granite. On day 59, we started expanding our defenses. On day 60, Rob felt it was appropriate to have another party. The party vibes would not last very long though, as later on that same day, we were raided for the third time.
Heh. Yes.
On day 61, we made a fantastic discovery.
Oh, come on. That right there. 3 reinforcement. We gotta go get this, right? But this cougar, though, it literally killed this guy.
Later that night, another boomalope self-tamed, which was good since we no longer had one. On day 62, a bulk trader had come by and they had books. I love buying books in Rimworld, so I definitely wanted to make a purchase. I also bought some yaks. By day 63, times were tough around camp in the food department, so Williamson sat down to a nice plate of raccoon. Just like the whole thing, the whole raccoon. Later that day, a rough thing happened to Arco as he was out trying to hunt for some food.
What is organ decay?
Arco had organ decay in one of his kidneys. I hadn't ever encountered organ decay before. I set up an operation to remove the affected kidney. Rob stepped up to the plate and got to work.
Oh, he's just doing it right there. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh.
Unfortunately, the surgery didn't go super well.
Surgery failed. How do you... No, so it's still in there? Like, what's going on?
Other than being affected by the anesthetic for a number of hours, Arco would be fine, except the kidney was still actively decaying inside of him. Rob patched up Arco. Shortly after that, I made the tough call to utilize one of our yaks for food purposes. But before anybody could even get out there to take care of it, Williamson lost it.
Oh no.
And what do you know? He goes right for the explosive rat.
No! Oh, he's dead. I don't want to look.
I thought it was over for Williamson. Rob took care of the yak as Williamson and this boom rat were just duking it out.
Wake up, dude. Oh, he didn't kill him.
Fortunately, he just knocked out the rat and didn't kill it, so there was no explosion. We weren't out of the woods yet, though, because I then discovered that Williamson would attack anyone he came across.
He'll attack anyone he sees.
I have Rob drop his yak and tell him to go melee Williamson. But Arco got involved first. And that is fresh off a failed kidney surgery. Arco took Williamson to bed, and we had Rob butcher the yak. Arco also patched up Williamson, even though he was the one who was fighting him. Arco puked because of either his failing kidney or the anesthetic. Either way, the guy was going through it. On day 65, Arco's kidney was still decaying, albeit slowly. And then later that day...
Oh, no way.
So that offset the yak we killed, and then some. Remember when I said that Arco 1 dying kind of paved the way for one of the best colonists I've ever had?
He's dead. Oh, he's dead. Wait, this is what I was worried about. Okay, he's gonna go get the other yaks. Oh, I hope the cougar doesn't get him. So he's really good at melee. Slug him.
Was I going to have our person with a decaying kidney throw his meaty fisticuffs at a cougar who was looking to kill him? You bet your bottom dollar. I have the other two non-paralyzed folks start making their way down to be backup, and I let the time run.
Listen, I gave.
Our boy Arco 2 can handle himself.
Oh my goodness. He literally handled that by himself with his fists. Go home, take the day off, man.
We have Rob patch him up, and Williamson finished the job. And Arco was fine. Like, he got scratched a bit, but he was getting patched up. Homie was good. Arco winning against that cougar meant I could then go get the mortar barrels we found earlier in peace. Why was this a huge W? There are certain events in Rimworld that necessitate using mortars to deal damage from long range. I had it where mortar barrels couldn't be crafted. I needed to buy them, steal them, or find them. So finding 3 of them lying out here was a huge deal for Nexus. By the end of day 67, we finished walling off our turbine area with granite. On day 68, we were paving our next room we'd start filling. As we crossed over into day 69, I had Rob clean the place because we were about to try once again to remove the decaying kidney from our local hero.
Good luck.
Rob gave Arco some raw rice to calm his nerves before the procedure. Rob then went to work.
Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. Failed again.
Once again, Arco's decaying kidney remained. On day 70, it was Williamson who threw a party, not Rob.
It's Williamson this time, okay.
By that point, we had also finished the proper pen for the animals. So I had the pen marker be moved out from the turbine area. That's where the pen had been thus far since the plagued boomalope situation. Arco's kidney continued to decay. On day 71, we were working on the new bedrooms for our colonists when Rachel got to her feet.
Rachel's walking.
We had 4 fully mobile people. And then later that same day, Rachel was still getting used to, like, not being paralyzed, I guess. On day 72, we started moving people into their new bedrooms. Finally, on day 73, nearly 3/4 of the way through the 100 days, we built our research table. We built a tailor's bench as well. On day 74, we built the coolers for our freezer. Having a freezer was going to be a huge improvement for us. As we cross over into day 75, I said something I shouldn't.
Dude, this is nice, huh? This is nice. It's not nice. It's... Rob, run, Rob. Oh my gosh. Wait, okay, it's fine. Wait, Rob, seriously? Dude, Arco took down a cougar, man. Don't do this.
Rob got the situation handled.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, Rob wasn't out of the woods just yet.
Oh dear, Rob.
He used some good medicine on himself, so that was good. That took care of his infection for the time being. Later on day 75, it was time for us to try again with Arco's kidney. Third time's the charm, right? Rob came in and used some of the good medicine that he had used on himself just a bit ago on Arco. But even so...
No!
Surely the fact that Rob was trying to perform surgery in the dark while dealing with his own infection had nothing to do with the failure. Before the day was over, Rob broke and started wandering sadly for some reason. And the reason was not that he was infected or had failed Arco's kidney surgery, but he was hungry. That's what did Rob in. Bro was hungry. On the beginning of day 76, Rob was still wandering sadly when...
No. Oh, no.
I had kinda definitely forgotten about Rob's infection. He couldn't tend himself because he was wandering sadly. We had Arco come and tend him even though it was without medicine. And that stopped it from getting worse as rapidly as it was before. Rob collapsed. Arco rescued him and put him in bed. In Rimworld though, infections can move very quickly. And I messed up by not paying close enough attention to our boy Rob. So, unfortunately...
Oh, no.
Our second death. My shortcomings aside, however, if we kinda take a step back, Arco handled a cougar. Rob died in a way because of a bunny. I know I could have been more proactive, but still. We buried Rob and had the funeral.
Today we lay Rob to rest. Rest up, Rob.
On day 77, Rachel was struggling mentally, and I knew why.
Oh no, I know why she's upset. Her dad died, bro.
Our colony was struggling. But what better way to try and lift our spirits than to try and remove Arco's kidney a 4th time? Rachel stepped in and started operating on Arco in the dark, just like her old man.
Oh, this does not sound like it's going well.
She had the same result as her late father.
Failed, that figures.
Arco has now had 4 failed surgeries done to try and remove his decaying kidney. On day 78, we wire up the turbine and the chem fuel generator we had with the coolers, trying to settle into the new normal after the loss of Rob. On day 79, I made a painful realization.
Wait a minute. Williamson is the last person with our ideology.
Techno-transcendentism rested on the shoulders of none other than Williamson. On day 80, nothing crazy happened, thankfully. We continued our work, dealing with plants, sweeping up the place, trying to press on. By day 81, Arco's kidney decay was severe.
We're gonna try again.
5th time's the charm. Rachel stepped up to the plate once again. Did you catch that? It did not say that the surgery failed.
She did it! She did it! Oh my. He's fine. He doesn't have organ decay. Rachel, congratulations. You are now our doctor.
Successfully removing a decaying kidney in a dark bedroom is definitely cause for an occupational promotion if I do say so myself. She wasn't as good as Arco 1 was, but even so, day 82 found Rachel doing some research for us. Literally right as it turned to day 83, this happened.
Oh my gosh.
We captured the furry guy that fell from the sky. Rachel patched him up. While we had him captured, we were going to convert him, then recruit him, so that when he joined our colony, he'd already be on the same page as, well, Williamson. By the end of day 84, Williamson was able to successfully convert our furry friend to techno-transcendentism.
Yes. Now let's recruit him.
We were then going to work on recruiting him into the colony. On day 85, Williamson was working on the room that we were going to put our chem fuel in. I didn't want something happening to the chem fuel inside of our freezer and exploding everything next to it. So, with our new convert, I wanted to try something, right?
Wait, so I want to try something. If we release him, will he just join us?
This was my first time playing ideology.
Wait. No. Oh, he's gone. Oh, yeah.
Lesson learned. We basically finished our chem fuel room though, so that was good. On day 86, Rachel finished that research we had started her on. On day 87, we wired up the new cooler we had made for our little chem fuel room. And then, as day 87 was about to end, we had an unexpected but not unwanted surprise.
Williamson tried to convert Rachel. Rachel was convinced. Oh, Rachel's on the team. I didn't know she was like that close. Oh, that's awesome. Our cause lives on.
On the back end of day 88, a wild furry man wandered into the land. And what do you know?
Hey, let's go try and tame the guy, huh? Do you see this man? He's the best medical person we could have possibly. Arco, talk to him, man. You know, bring him in. Be like, bro, we got a bed. We got nutrient paste. Are you tired of humanity? We are.
This wild man was way better than even Arco 1 was.
Here's some rice. You'll like rice? Okay, tame failed 60% chance. We'll be back.
On day 89, we tried a different approach.
There we go.
We arrested the wild man and we're going to start working on converting him. On day 90 and 91, both Williamson and Rachel talked with our furry prisoner, swinging him over to our side. Also on day 91, we got raided yet again. It was one guy. Just as day 91 was about to end, the one raider was beginning his assault. He chased Williamson around our whole base basically, but when he came up to our trap area, he chose a different direction.
Oh, not one of these arsonists.
We brought out Williamson to deal with things.
Oh no.
I told Arco to get out there as well. The raider got some licks in on Williamson, but Arco showed up and stood on business. The three were duking it out when...
No shot. You're kidding.
We had Rachel come rescue Williamson. Arco finally finished off the raider. As Rachel was about to come get Williamson, I had Arco start putting out the fire that the raider had started. The fire was kinda going nuts though, and we really couldn't afford to lose Arco, so we pulled him out from the fires for a bit, then had him hit the perimeters. The fires started creeping up into our defenses, which still had doors and traps very much made of wood. Rachel started putting out the fires that were catching on the defenses. Does anything here seem off to you?
No. How did he die?
It didn't occur to me either until it was too late. I should have let the defenses burn and had Rachel tend Williamson immediately. On day 93, we had the funeral.
Today, we lay to rest our final original colonist.
And now, techno-transcendentism was being carried solely by Rachel.
Rachel's on an insulting spree.
With Williamson dying, we now faced another problem.
Here's the problem. We can't actually build traps anymore.
None of our surviving colonists had a high enough crafting level to make traps for our defenses. Luckily though, on day 94, Arco went and finally tamed the wild man we had arrested.
Okay.
Census.
meaning we now had a proper doctor on the team. We gave him a fresh name,
Williamson 2.
On day 95, Williamson was working on this wall simply to level up his crafting. As day 96 was ending, I accepted a quest. We were going to let refugees come live with us for 17 days. We'd give them beds, food, stuff like that, and they'd help us with work and such. And we really could use the help. We were going to renovate the prison area we had to both house the refugees as well as have cells for our prisoners. They wouldn't be in the same place, they'd just be within the same 11 by 11 block. I know it's a bad look, I apologize. At the end of day 97, Williamson worked on said renovations. At the end of day 98, I had Arco thin our yak population. On day 99, the refugees were mining out the area we intended to put our batteries. Also on the same day, Williamson 2 leveled up his construction, which meant we could make traps again. And on day 100, winter began. It was a wild first 100 days for techno-transcendentism, full of ups and downs. If I'm honest, I didn't do super well with the goals I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I didn't convert every person to our ideologion. None of the original colonists lived to achieve cyborg super beingism, but you know what? While the original colonists may not be alive, the daughter of one of them is. And with her, techno-transcendentism lives on. If we've learned anything these first 100 days, it's this. Humanity really is weak. We must transcend. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not watch another one? Love God, love people, and I'll see you guys soon.